Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meryl Stewart, CEO of Marketing and Business Solutions. This week, we're talking about building a marketing strategy and why it's important and how you can do it. I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about the steps that are involved in creating a marketing strategy. But let's start with why it's important. So, the marketing communication strategy really helps you keep focused on making sure that you're reaching the right market share, the right audience, that your organization or your business is able to influence behavior and gain profits and alignment with your projected outcomes or goals. It should be something that aligns with your vision, your mission, your values of your organization or your business. And it should be something that's tied into kind of the strategic makeup of where you want to go, how you want to build your business, and what you want it to become. So there are 7 steps to this. There are things that you can do to look at your current marketing strategy and maybe make some changes, but also to implement a new marketing strategy if that's something you're needing at this time. So let's get started. Step one. Step one is really about articulating your brand message and your voice. It is the part of your plan that should align with who you are, the very essence and kind of unique positioning you bring as a company or an organization. It should be aligned with your values, your vision, and it should really explain why your organization exists. It's kind of that tone of why are we here? What are we trying to solve? What are we trying to offer? What is it that we do that's different than everybody else, including your competitors? And how is it unique? It's something that should really help provide clarity, bring people together around a certain cause or problem, because you're the person or the business in the marketplace that's going to help solve that for them. So, step one is that brand message, that brand voice, really tied around who you are, to your essence and your core of your business. Step two is all about identifying your marketing and communications goals. So, what is it that you're trying to achieve? One of the acronyms that I find really helpful in this segment of planning is to create SMART goals. And if you don't know what the acronym SMART stands for, it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. So let's talk through that. Your goals should be specific. Your goals should be really hyper focused on something very specific that you want to try to achieve. And I would say set 3 goals. Five seems like too many sometimes, one's not enough. So set three and really focus on what do I want to achieve? And the second piece of that is how I'm going to measure it. So be specific. And then how am I going to measure that goal is successful? The measurement should be something that's quantifiable. So setting a percentage or a number. So it might be that, you want to grow engagement on social media. Set a number to that. How many more likes? How many more followers? How many more subscribers do you want to try to obtain for your channel or your brand? The third piece, achievable, making sure it's something you can actually do. If you set a goal that you want, 3,000 more subscribers to your YouTube channel, really think about whether or not that's achievable in the time frame that you're going to set to this specific goal. If it's not, then you need to reduce that measurement or that, kind of achievable element to something that is more attainable, that you can, get to and that you can see results in, because you want to be able to kind of have baby steps in success so that you can continue to build on your prior successes instead of setting the bar way too high and then getting really frustrated that you can't get there. So make sure that it's achievable. The fourth part is that it should be relevant. It should be relevant to what's happening now or what your needs are as a business now. Thinking ahead 3 to 6 months for many companies might be too difficult. The environment has changed drastically with how many businesses or organizations have interacted with their audience. So thinking about what's relevant now, what can I do in the next 3 months, the next 6 months, or the next 30 days, that's going to help me get to the goals that I'm trying to set for myself, and then set a time frame. So back to that, maybe it's a 30-day goal, maybe it's something that you're just trying to do in the next month or 60 days. If you can plan further out, but don't get frustrated if you don't get there. You can always tweak your goals and your plans as you go. So the marketing communications goals, in this step really should align with your organizational goals. I mean, if you're trying to increase sales or profits for your business, how can these very specific goals help get you to that place? How do they align and interact with maybe the broader goals that you have for your business? Some common goals that people typically set here are to build awareness, to grow participation. It might be to launch a product or a new solution out in the marketplace that you see that there's a need for and that you can be part of the solution for. It might be to increase your market share and to look at how you can gain more of a market share over your competition at this point in time. So be thinking kind of along those lines as you set those goals. The third step is to define your key audience. It's really important that you know who you're trying to go after and what you're trying to say to them. So thinking about, if the key audience is different for each goal, is it the same? Do they all need to be communicated the same information? Do they need it in a different tone or voice so that they hear it and that they can respond to what it is that you're asking them to do in the manner in which you'd like to? Marketing strategy is all about changing behavior or helping to alter behavior of a customer or target audience. So be thinking about, this audience that you're going after or that you're trying to grow and what it is that you're going to say to them that's going to resonate with where they are and what they're doing. You need to know about them. You need to know what's important to them. You need to know what they want to avoid, and how they're going to interact with you in the way that you want them to. So be thinking about things like their wants, their needs, what benefits do they need to have in order to act, to move forward, to purchase something, to engage with you. Think about the demographics. Who are they? Where are they geographically? Are they scattered all across the world? Are they in a specific market? Are they of a certain age? Are they of a certain income level? What is it that's going to help you kind of be more focused and targeted on reaching that specific key audience that you're looking to engage? Step four is really clarifying your message, really thinking about what are the appealing words, the way in which you're going to talk to your audience, thinking about how you're going to position your product or your service or your organization or business in a way that's unique, that differentiates you from the competition, that puts your product or service in a place that your target audience is going to say, yeah, I need that. I'm going to click that button. I'm going to purchase that, or I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to call them. What company values will align with them? What are things that you stand for that are going to be important for them? And what guarantees will address their fears? What are some things that you can do to help people choose to engage with you over someone else because there's a brand promise or a proposition that you're able to offer that maybe your competition doesn't? So this step and phase is really having an outward mindset. It's thinking about yourself in the shoes of your key audience and thinking about what is it that I can say to them that's going to make them feel good about who I am as a business, that's going to trust my brand, and that's going to make them react or act in a way that I want them to so that I can see engagement, increase my profits, increase my sales, and so on. So consider in this step really the data you need to really understand your key audience and then how you're really going to pivot that message to help them hear you in the voice that they need to hear you to make some type of action or engage in some type of purchase. Step five is brainstorming what traction channels you're going to use. So, if you know kind of who you are, what you're going to say, who your key audience might look like, then how are you going to reach them? And what's the best way to accomplish that so that you can reach the goals that you've set for yourself? This is a really important part of the process where you really want to do research and consider what your competitors are doing, where they're showing up, to really think about, where you're going to place your brand or your business in the market to be competitive, but to also be in front of a potential target audience that a competitor or someone else in the market has. This step is critical in developing the right strategy, because research proves that the number one reason for product or service failure is poor distribution. And not necessarily a poor product or service, but that you haven't effectively told people or enough people what it is that you're doing and how they can participate or purchase something that you have. So, first on the traction channels is focusing on what you own. Things that you own, earn, or buy are kind of what fall under categories of traction channels. And traction channels are things like your website, your social media sites, your blogs, your email marketing, your e-newsletter campaigns, publicity, inbound marketing, trade shows, advertising, all different ways that people are going to see your brand and what you offer. Those are all traction channels. But they can be broken down into things that you own, which would be for many of you your logos, your assets, the images, the values, the language, the messaging, the brochures, the pieces that you have that you utilize right now to promote what you do. Those are things you own. Things that you earn are things that you have to work to gain people's following, their engagement. So think more along the lines of social media, where you need to put out a message to gain trust or to gain some type of interest so that you can earn someone's engagement. You can earn their interaction. You can earn their advocacy in some cases to share what it is that you're doing with others so that you can grow your distribution to potential customers or to grow your donor base or participant base. So those are things that you earn. The third is things you buy. So those may be advertising, where you've purchased ads, you've had a targeted campaign, you're looking at, click throughs and putting out opportunities that you're basically paying for access to an audience to increase, your customer base or your donor base or participant base. So for each traction channel that you choose or that you have, here are some questions that you should probably be asking yourself. Are my target audience and prospects on this channel? If they're not, then you probably want to spend your time focused on a different channel where there's going to be more eyes focused on your product or service that align with the audience that you need to be in front of. The second question is, how many target or prospects can you reach on that channel? Does it have a cap? Are you going to run out of potential leads at some point? And if you do, how are you going to transition to something else that may be more effective? The third thing to consider is how much it's going to cost you, not just in dollars, but in time. If you have to spend your own time creating content, messaging, and pushing things out through various channels to reach your target audience, is your time better spent paying someone, if you can afford it, to do that for you and leveraging their expertise for your business or your organization? Or is that something that you have the time to do now and you can invest that into growing your business or reaching your acquisition target audience? So it's just things to think about. What is it going to cost you? And then if you're already using that channel, what's your conversion rate? Is it working? Do you have people that are interacting with you on a certain channel right now and that is translating to business, or it's translating to a new customer or even customer retention? If it's not, then you need to look at what it is that I'm doing on that channel that maybe it's not resonating with my audience, or maybe my audience has moved to a different channel and I need to, pause this one for now and move to something else because my customer target audience has moved. So things to think about in that regard. The sixth step in the process is to decide on what strategy and specific tactics that you're going to use to execute on each objective. So consider budget implications when you decide on your method. You're looking for channels that have been tested, that are going to work, that audience maybe has been on before, and it's not necessarily brand new technology or brand new platform. It's something that people are on, that you can segment and find your audience and utilize. If that channel has proved to be successful, it's good to invest more time and resources to accelerate to the desired outcomes that you're looking for. So, some common tactics that people use in order to achieve their marketing objectives and their goals, those goals that you set in the beginning are, maybe you need to build an email list, and that's a tactic because we need more people so that we can send more information out to them. Maybe it's building your content marketing. Maybe you need to write. Maybe you need to craft key messaging and really focus on how you're talking about things and what you want people to engage in once they, hear about a message from you or understand that you have a new product or service that you're offering, that you're helping to solve a problem they have. It might be that you start a blog to gain more opportunity to be found in search engines and to show up on different lists. It might be that that is where you reuse some of your content from your content marketing and turn it into a blog so that people can be following that and gain expertise from what it is that you do. It might be that you leverage influencers and looking for other people in the market that have a great following, and it just makes sense for you to work together to try to promote each other's brand or to each other's audience because there's cross marketing opportunity there. So those are some things to think about in step 6. And then step 7 is creating a scorecard, thinking about how you're going to measure success, how you're going to set your benchmarks, and how you're going to evaluate your progress as you go so that if something's not working, you can change it. You can pivot fairly quickly and decide that you need to spend more time or less time in a specific channel or initiative in order to gain the goal and result that you're looking for. So, some common key performance indicators, KPIs that people are looking at are, your website visitors. How much time do they spend on your site? Are they clicking through to the areas that you want them to? Are they clicking through and actually purchasing or making a donation at some point? Are they coming back, return visitors? I know we all have a lot of metrics, but a lot of times we don't look at them to really analyze whether or not the tools that we have are working when we're trying to reach our audience. So I would recommend that you pick 2 or 3 of these and set them in place and start monitoring them and looking at them, on a daily or weekly basis to see what's happening. It's the only way you're going to know whether or not you need to change something. Some other ones that you could consider using are, whether or not, inbound links are working. Are people finding you and then clicking on that link? And is that translating into some type of return on investment? What your social reach is, or how many subscribers or followers that you have. Those may be things you want to track, especially if part of your goal is to increase your social engagement online. Looking at downloads, if you offer some type of product that people can download or a webinar or something that kind of creates residual income from you when you're not packaging something or sending something to a customer or hosting something live. What are the things that are resonating with people that are helping to fulfill a need or a gap that they may have. And there's lots of others, but if you can set a baseline of where you are now and where it is that you want to be, then you can track the progress over time because you establish one of those SMART goals. And so that those SMART goals really will help you align your measurement to make sure that you stay on track. So that's it. Those are 7 steps to help you get to, a marketing strategy that you can use, something that you can track, and something that you can continue to tweak to make sure that it fits your needs. As always, if you have any questions or comments, I'm happy to answer them. So please leave them in the comment section, and I will message you back or send me your email, and I will respond to you that way. But I hope this helps you in, developing the strategy that you need for your business or organization and continuing to reach the audience that you desire. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Bye-bye.